Hey guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso with a short little video. Nothing big. I got a scale for the puppies, but the bag that I got wasn't big enough. I misjudged how big the puppies were. And they were upset trying to crawl out of it. So I gotta get a bigger one. But I just want to do a short little video because I wasn't really able to check in today. It's just a long day.
Busy long day.
Yeah, I've had a lot at work. Never mind the YouTuber that my daughter's watching right now on TV. We don't just put YouTube videos together. We also watch them.
It's a constant thing. We don't watch anything else.
Yeah, we don't really watch anything else. Yeah, we don't watch TV.
We don't watch TV.
Hey, you guys get out of that. Get over here. So I'm taking Midnight to the vet tomorrow for her eye. Just because it's not healing fast enough for me. I don't like it. The other one healed completely, as you can see. But the other one has not healed. And I don't know what is up with it, if it's infected or what. So I'm taking her to the vet tomorrow. And I'm taking Preacher too, because I'm dropping him off with the handler. I'm leaving on the 28th. And I just want to have his health checked before I send him off to her, just to be sure that there's nothing going on, that he's good to go. So, you know, just to cover our butts on that. So we'll have that done. And,
oh no, back off, dogs.
Oh.
I'm eating chocolate.
Yep. I've had some people ask, you know, like, why am I, of all people, like me, showing dogs, you know, why to change my tune. The truth is, somebody somebody who does show contacted me and was basically telling me that the people that are the loudest online and that are always being really nasty and rude are the minority, and that they don't represent the show community as a whole, and that the incorrect dogs that often win don't also represent the truth of the show. That while there is politics and there are going to be times when the better dog won't win as far as really big shows, for the most part, you know, good dogs do win. And if more good dogs don't show up, then the other dogs will win, because obviously they can only award the dogs that are there. So anyway, so that's why, you know, that we decided to get into it. I figured, well, I can't sit here and complain if I'm not willing to be part of the solution. So that's why we're doing it. It's not like I've all of a sudden changed my tune. It's that I believe Preacher's a correct dog, and therefore, since I believe that, I have to at least, you know, give him the opportunity to be out there and represent, you know, the breed. So that's what that's about. So anyway, also, I had somebody ask me in a private message recently about submissive peeing, and so I guess she had seen that we had kind of gone through that with Tennessee, and she had asked for some advice. So I figured that, look how good she's maturing. Oh my God, I have to just take a moment. There we go. Okay, so velocity is so beautiful. All right, so so anyway, so the reason she asked me, because we got it fixed and she wanted advice. So I figured I'd put it on video for everybody else to see. So there's two forms of peeing, submissive peeing. One is when you're scolding them. The other one is when they're just excited and happy. Both of them stem from the same thing, which is just an ultra form of submissiveness. Now, I believe that the reason why it also stems up with excitement is because, as many people with a pack knows, sometimes excitement can trigger aggression and fighting. So that's why I think that the two go hand in hand, but that's just a theory. Get down off my bed. Get down off my bed. Go. So anyway, so what I did with Tennessee is first of all, we obviously know that the submissive peeing is a sign of submission, right? It's the ultimate form of submission. And so what that tells us is that the dog has a confidence issue. So what you want to do, because usually when they're a submissive peer, if you even praise them, sometimes they pee. So first off, you have to ignore the peeing, okay? Completely ignore it. When it happens, act like it didn't happen, just completely ignore it. Second of all, so there's two forms, depending upon how serious it is. If it's the kind where even if you look at the dog, they squat and pee, then you're gonna have to get to the point where you ignore the dog. And it doesn't mean that you don't love the dog, but it does mean that you're like they're so sensitive and timid that if you even look at them, they'll pee. And so obviously you want to stop that behavior. So I suggest not looking at them. What I do with them, what I did with Tennessee is I would walk past her. She would come up to me. She would want to be pet. I would walk past her and I would ignore her when she's super excited, when I know she's going to pee if I look at her. And I'd walk away and I would go sit down. And if she came up to me to be pet, what I would do is I would just reach my hand out, not looking at her. Keep this in mind, not looking at her. I would just keep looking at the TV. And I would reach my hand out for her to smell. And then once she smells it, not looking at her, keep in mind, then I would reach my hand over and just kind of give her ears a scratch and that kind of stuff. And not very much, just enough to acknowledge and love her. And then maybe you could even turn, maybe even then you could turn your head and just kind of smile at her and then go back to doing what you're doing. And so the idea is that you're not encouraging any kind of excitement and you're limiting the times in which the submissive pees can happen. And then what I suggest is in the meantime, say when you go outside where it's a place where you don't really mind if she pees or whatever, I would suggest, doing confidence building activities. So go out and just kind of give her some love and give her some praise and really give them that kind of excitement praise that most people say not to. Because with most dogs, it only encourages, a kind of a negative form of excitement. With these dogs, you really do want to do that. So I would give her a good rub down, lots of love, and then that's it. And you will notice with these kinds of dogs that discipline is not your friend with a dog that's submissive pees. I highly recommend that the most that you do is maybe, raise your voice a bit with them, but not much, like just enough to make sure that they know that you're serious. And you always want to do the absolute least amount of pressure possible with these dogs. You don't want to do anything that makes them insecure. Usually at the very most with Tennessee, all I have to do is that psst sound, and then she will stop. And so, so that's what I suggest. Build confidence, no discipline, you know what I mean? I will say not no discipline, but the least amount of discipline. Because the truth is these dogs don't need much discipline. They're so sensitive that they don't need much pressure. They bend very quickly to pressure. And it doesn't mean she's not a protector. She absolutely is. She's one of the first dogs to bark. She doesn't run away from the door. I mean, she's, definitely a protector, but with the pack and with me, she's very submissive. So she really requires very little pressure. And that's what I suggest doing, is very little pressure. And then you'll start to see them come out of their shell. Love, lots of love, ignore the pee. If you can't even look at them without them freaking out, don't look at them. Do affection while not making eye contact. Don't reach over and touch them by the head. Let them come to you. Let them smell your hand and let them kind of come in for the affection. And I promise you, in a very short amount of time, you'll fix that and it'll go away. Hey, Midnight, get down now. Midnight. She's dominating. That was a bad girl. Bad girl, just like your daddy. Always wanting to mount. That's why your eyes all swole. Because somebody done popped you. Yep. Somebody done got you. Anyway, we're fixing to find out. They'll probably just put her on antibiotics. Cashmere, stop it. No. You leave her alone. She didn't do nothing to you. Cashmere, what did I tell you? So, anyway.
No, you better get down. You're not a puppy anymore. Go.
Tennessee! He's a good girl. He's a good girl, see? And now I can pet her and I can love on her and she won't pee. She won't do it. But she would before. She would totally pee. So keep that in mind. Least amount of pressure possible with these dogs. Build their confidence. Spend time with them. Really spend time bonding with them or you're not going to make any progress. All right, y'all have a good night and I'll talk at you later. Bye. Bye.